Good to see you, though.
Good to see you also.
I think you forgot you weren't on daylight savings time. We're not on daylight savings
Yeah,
time.
you get my text. I tried to join. I said it was just me and all my friends, huh?
Oh no.
No kidding.
You got a lot of friends.
Yeah, that's true.
How's your mom doing? How's your mom doing? Give me a quick report.
It's been the last 2 months have been a bear, but you know, she's well enough now. I can leave her for a couple of days back in Bullhead, and I have to go back up there on Friday. But I got her stocked with groceries and stuff. She can't see out of one eye completely, and but it's coming back. So knock on wood, you know, everything's. The doctor said it might take 3 or 4 months for her to get her vision, but it's you know, I've got some good neighbors up there too. I've spoken with, so it's going. Let's put it that way.
Is she going to move back to Phoenix or
Yeah,
not?
I just sold her place up there. As a matter of fact, we just had an offer this past week. I mean, last week at the end of the week, and I got stuff that I got to take care of up there and get her back down here, Coach.
Well, we got Bobby Booth on here. Greg Carroll. Hi, Greg.
Hey, how we doing, Coach?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
We got Brian Hansen sitting in my other room in here now tonight too. So we got a celebrity in my house here.
Awesome.
It's a stretch.
Yeah, that is a stretch.
Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Kevin, how are you?
I'm hanging in there, buddy.
Looking
How you
good.
been, man? I haven't seen you like forever.
Yeah, it's been a few years. I was trying to think the last time we connected.
Golly,
Out.
bro, that's shoot.
I think it was
man.
out in Arizona.
84, 85, man. It was back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just young bucks back then.
Yeah, I feel every day of it now, though, Brian. You know?
Yeah, it catches up to you, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. Sure does, man.
Are you you're not 60 yet, are you?
Just turning.
Did
Just
you really?
turned 61, actually, Brian.
Oh, jeepers.
I know, man.
Yeah, I'm a grandpa and all that good stuff.
How's that working out?
So far, so good.
Yeah, fantastic, buddy.
Kind of a shock when you first get the title, but then after that, it's just all good.
I imagine so.
Hello, Bobby Booth.
How you doing, Coach? Good to see you.
Good to see you. Where are you at now? Are you home?
I'm home for tonight. I head out in the morning. I'm just trying to get a little more work done tonight before I leave, and then on for a couple nights and then back home. I'm gonna go down and let's see. I think early December I'm gonna go down. I got a meeting in Reno, so I'll have dinner with Folkers down there. We have him and his wife, so that'll be good to see him again.
Bobby, where are you heading? You heading to Billings?
No, I was in Billings a week ago, 2 weeks
Right,
ago.
I heard you say that.
Yeah, no, heading to Central Washington this week.
Gotcha.
Chad Remington, how's your wife doing tonight? How's her cough?
She's downstairs coughing, but the cough's better than it has been the last 5 days. So we're thankful.
How are you doing? Are you coughing too?
No,
That's better to. That's,
Hey,
Yeah.
Dad, how's that
That's
COVID
good.
going down there?
the what?
COVID, the virus and stuff, it's kind of been picking back up down here in Phoenix.
Yeah, it has been. And Amy did get tested, and she tested negative. So we think she just got a bad cold, but
That's good.
she's compromised. So if the cold comes through, she gets it pretty bad. So
Yeah.
have you had mandates down there, Kevin?
A lot of places they're mandating masks again, the businesses themselves. It hasn't gone, like statewide like it was previously. But I know on planes and stuff like that, if you plan on traveling, you know, it's necessary to wear a mask still and stuff, you know, and at the airports and things like that. And if you go into any medical facility, obviously it's required also, you know, so. But I don't know, it can't seem to beat this damn thing.
Oh. Scott Ebert, I just got an email or got a text message from you. Are you there, Scott?
I am. Can you hear me or not?
Yeah, I can hear you. You got a meeting you got to get
I'm,
to? Or you-
No, I'm in the back of my van. I had a sick daughter in college, so we just brought her back to Sioux Falls.
Oh,
So I'm eating Dairy Queen Blizzard, and I'm sitting in the back seat of my van.
anything will do. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, Scott.
Yeah.
Is that Brady Swayback?
Yes, sir.
Good to see you.
Yeah, sorry I'm a little late. I had to get some last minute Christmas shopping done for the roommates.
Well, we're getting the nation kind of covered here with different parts of the world here all of a sudden. So when we get somebody from Des Moines, Iowa, you're close to Des Moines, aren't you, Brady?
Yeah, we're Katie and I are in Grimes.
I think Gana Move is on here too, aren't you, Gana? Can you hear me, Gana?
Hello.
Good to have you. Gana, where are you at now? Are you in Montana or someplace? I can't hear you, Gana.
Washington State.
Washington? Wow.
Yep. Yes.
We're in Washington.
Olympia area, so south of Seattle.
You know where that is, Bob Booth?
Did they say hiding?
Oh yeah, it's about 80 miles south of here.
Is that AJ Nichols?
Hi, Coach.
AJ, golly,
How are you?
it is such a blessing to see you on, man. I'll tell
Well,
you.
thank you. It's a blessing to see your smiling face.
I wanted to have you on for a long time there, but I knew you were kind of had your work schedule and stuff, so.
Yeah, kind of more settled now.
That's
See
good.
you, Tony.
Hey, hi, Rem.
Hey, Tony, how are you?
Hi, Each.
First time I've seen you in a while.
Yeah, I know you worked like 2 blocks from here. Maybe I better wander over there and harass you once in a while.
You got to get over and see me.
Will they let me even go in there and have lunch in the school? Or is that taboo?
We had a meeting after school today. We're going away from Mass tomorrow, and we're not sure yet if we're going to let parents in at lunchtime. That's a discussion we got to have later.
Gotcha.
Maybe.
Maybe,
It is you, so probably no. I'm just kidding. Tim. Good to see you.
Good to see you, buddy.
Justin, are you not flying tonight? Jacobs? Saw your face there, Justin. You got your dog, picture your dog anyway. Hi, Josiah, another Arizona boy. Kevin, did you know this guy down here, the Josiah Fenceroy?
No, I don't believe so.
You guys ought to get connected down there. He's down in the Tucson area, but
Down in Tucson?
Yes, sir.
he's
Yeah, I'm up here in Glendale right now. Surprise, Glendale borderline in Phoenix.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. We'll have to try to get together sometime.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I'm over off that 101 that loops around the north part of it.
Yep.
By Bell Road and stuff, northwest Phoenix.
Yeah, near the stadium over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. I used to live in Phoenix, so I'm somewhat
Yeah, you're familiar with it, huh?
Yes, definitely. I'll send you my number on here.
Yeah, that sounds good, bud.
Sounds good.
Tony, tell us a little bit. We haven't had you on. I don't know if we've ever had you on yet. So tell us what you're doing and give us a little report for you live in Sheridan yet, don't you, Tony?
Yep. I made the first Zoom call, but I haven't made any other than this one. So it has been a stretch. I couldn't remember when that first one was.
Year ago.
Was it been that long?
Oh
Holy
yeah.
cow.
More than that, probably.
Wow. So yeah, just plugging away in Sheridan, doing some reclamation work at a coal mine. The coal mine that's gone out of business. So we're just putting dirt back in the holes, basically. Running heavy equipment.
What happens when you get the hole filled up?
Then we go look for another job.
Yeah.
But that would probably be probably 10 to 15 years. So I'm hoping to ride it out till retirement. That'll probably be enough for me.
Yeah, Tony, I worked in the Alaska oil field for about 25 years, right? And
Right.
once the well was done and stuff, and sometimes you didn't move right on to another job, so it's kind of hit and miss at times.
It really is that up and
we had a lot of
down,
guys we had a lot of guys that were either fishermen at one time or miners too, that would come up and stuff like that. So made some good hands.
Yeah, energy industry is kind of up and down. You don't know what you're going to get. So
Roger that.
What are you doing now, Kevin?
Actually, the last 6 weeks or so, I've been, I had to quit work, take care of my mom. She's had some illnesses and stuff like that. So I've been kind of babysitting her, but she's getting better. So I was just offered a pretty good sales job back down here in Phoenix. And I got to give them an answer here the next day or so. I'm kind of praying on it, guys, and trying to get my mom down here too. So I'm going, she's about 4 hours away. So I've been spending time with her and then bringing her back down here and then taking her back up there. So we'll see how it works out, but it'll be back in sales and stuff like that. That's how I first started out of college, was in the sales gig. So we'll see.
I wish you the best with your mom and everything.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I suppose we better say hi to Tyler Muth, one of those Harrisburg guys. They think they own the world now, right, Tyler?
No, not on the world. Just blessed to come out with a victory this time around.
Yeah. I guess that's fair. We thought it was time for Harrisburg to win this year after last year. But that was quite they had a heck of a team. I'll say that, boy. Tremendous. So I guess there must have been really good coaching too, right?
A little bit of coaching, a little bit of players, a lot from the big guy upstairs. How about that?
Oh, that always comes into help.
Yep.
Anyway, Harrisburg won the state championship for you guys in the AAA schools anyway. So Brad Schroeder, your boy, your team didn't come out so good, right, Brad?
Well, they didn't win on the scoreboard, but from the beginning of the year to the championship game, they made a lot of improvements and only had a couple seniors. So it'll be a good year next year, I think.
I think we should hear something from Scott Ebert, a little bit about the end of your season there. You kind of brought the Watchdogs back to life again. You and Adam Nelson, maybe between the two of you, can you give us a quick little report of your end of your football season?
Yeah. I don't know how many guys on here. I'm sure if you've moved away, you don't understand kind of where Beersford has been. But if we go back to 1987, they won a state title. 1988, they played in the semifinal game. And then since that time, Adam, correct me if I'm wrong, but Beersford football had not played in a semifinal football game since 1988. And we found a way to get to that round this year. Lost by 7 in the semifinals. Actually took the lead late, and then the team we played, Bridgewater Emory, and they drove late and scored on us to win. But we won our first playoff game in 29 years in the first round, and we made it to the semifinals first time since 1988. So kind of crazy, almost mind-boggling to think that we're on the I-29 corridor playing 11-man football, and it's been that long, 29 years since they won just a playoff game. It's almost incomprehensible, but we're thankful that those kind of records are gone now, and we can maybe kind of start chipping away at trying to maintain the winning side of things. But just a really good group of guys that we finished with 2 wins the previous season. Our season actually ended where we ended in the playoffs in the semifinals. They beat us. They 50-pointed us in the third quarter in week 8 a season ago. And actually, we turned around in less than a year and went back to that same field, same school in week 6 and found a way to win. That was a huge deal for our guys, our program. And we finished 5-3 in the regular season. I think each of the losses were stepping stones to things that were coming in the future. We just didn't realize that at the time. But yeah, we got into the playoffs, and we were the 14th seed, and we were still alive in the Final Four. So it was quite the ride. Just really neat for our kids, our community, our school. Yeah. So.
Well,
That's
congratulations.
Kind of the summary. Yeah, thank you.
Adam Nelson, you got anything to add? You're one of the assistant coaches there, Adam.
I'm just eating here, filling my face, but no, it was a great year. A lot of fun to be back at the home school there and seeing that success. And tell you what, Scott's not going to like this, but it's a lot to do with him and how he has built that culture. So just we're on here tonight for thankfulness, and he's a big reason for what that looks like now in Beersheba football. So
well, you got a lot of my relatives down there that are pretty proud of you guys. So congratulations. And as an old watchdog myself, Skip Thorson, my buddy, and I are pretty proud of the Watchdogs this year. So glad to see you getting that program going on the right foot there. I know that Sheridan, right, won the state championship. AJ, is that right? And
They did. They handled Rock Springs pretty well, 45-17 last Saturday.
Sorry, AJ.
So,
Hey, what's up, buddy? Hi, woo.
I cannot hear.
there's
Yeah,
another
my
Sheridan
wife,
guy down here, Jay Sim, do you remember? He's a legend out there at Sheridan, you know.
We can hear you, Jay.
I can barely hear it though.
That's the technical difficulties. Yeah, it was funny, Coach. You know, Troy Baker, he had a son that finished up, and a couple of my other friends from high school, their sons were seniors. So it's kind of interesting to watch it come full circle.
Troy sent me a picture of let's see now, he said something about there were 3 state championships, and he sent me a picture of 4. He and was it his 3 sons, or I don't know. He said there were 3 state championships in that group.
His 3 sons have 6 state championships amongst them.
Wow.
And I don't think Troy counted the one he participated in as a sophomore. I don't think he put that in there, but that might make 7
Wow.
for that family. So,
Coach Anderson, you better hit Sheridan again out there. They were our backbone there for several years. You know, I think one time we had about 8 or 10 players from Sheridan on our team. And
a school might have outlawed that, Coach, after that.
They were too wild. USF
Maybe
couldn't
the
handle that. many.
statute of limitations is up and we can go back out there again, huh?
Get that many cowboys in one place. I mean, holy cow.
Hey, Tony, did you guys win state championship when you're senior?
No, we didn't make it before the playoff system.
So we're the first one won it. Then who won it after that?
Yeah. Oh, it was, I'm not sure how much, I think maybe 86, 87, I think they might have won it.
Yep. Sounds
I
right.
don't remember all that. I know we started it. So, hey, Greg.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay Woo, how are you?
There's a guy that I use in for dummy all the time.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
You know what's
Coach
funny is
Anderson,
I
I'm
was
gonna
going to
ask
ask
you
how
to-
you're doing.
If I can get, I'm going to let you focus a little bit here. Coach Anderson is finishing with his season now
Awesome.
by one game, I guess. We can disappointment, but had a good finish of the season here. So why don't you give us a little synopsis of your season and how things, what you might consider going into the future. Will you do that?
Yeah, certainly. We finished up 8-3 last week and just missed playoffs. You know, we were ranked in our region and probably one of the top 40 in the country, but not one of the top 28 to qualify for the playoffs. So close, but not close enough is what I told our kids. And you know, we had some incredible highs and some really low lows this season. I'm really proud of this group of guys because every time that we had a you know, a low, they came back the very next week and played amazing football. Some of our best games. You know, we took a bad loss up at Northern State and we're struggling and looking for an identity. We come back the very next week and beat Augustana. So that, you know, for the key to the city, that was a huge one. We lost on the last drive play to Winona. Come back the next week and run roughshod over Mankato, and you know, right there with a lot of things. Really proud of the guys because they continued to respond. They continued to stick together. We didn't have any fracturing on that, and you know, we had a really good senior class that we had senior day for last week, and sad to see those guys go, but the future is really, really bright with the amount of guys that played significant roles that we got coming back. It's not public knowledge released yet, but we'll have 7 first-team all-conference players, which is in my time frame here really significant as far as the Northern Sun goes. To be able to have that many first-teamers is great. And you know, it's one of those things where we met and had our last team meeting on Monday, and it's a fine line between I want our kids to feel accomplished for what they did. 8 games is something to be proud of, and it's really hard, as you guys all know, to win college football games. There's a lot of things that got to go right, and a lot of people pulling in the right direction, and you got to stay healthy, you got to be smart, you got to do all those things. So I want our guys to feel accomplished about that, but also understand that we have really high expectations at the coup, built on the backs of what so many of you guys have done and what we've been able to continue to do. So, you know, frustration and disappointment from that for sure. I feel that for our young guys. I feel that personally myself, but I told them here, you know, very quickly, if it hasn't already, it needs to turn to motivation for the next one. You didn't get what you wanted or what you thought you deserved or earned, so you go back to work. And that's always been the coup way and something that we're working on. Recruiting's going well. We got several, probably about a third of our class committed right now. Continuing to work on that, continuing to find all the guys that are making sure that they're coming back. And you know, we got some guys that due to COVID have choices. No one used a year of eligibility, so some of our guys may start life, go get married, start jobs, do those things. Some of them might come back and play ball and go to grad school, that type of stuff. So we're just kind of navigating all that and coming up for air. The guys that are banged up and tired, we'll get them rehabbed or get their surgeries and take a little Thanksgiving break and then get right back to it. But, really kind of the fine line between a gratifying season. It was difficult. It was hard. This year really was for our guys and for our coaches. So I'm really proud of the way we fought, but, we've got to find that motivation and a little bit frustration to be able to, our one and only goal is to make playoffs and have a shot at to go play in the playoffs and a national championship. And we fell short of that for the first time here in a little bit. We've been there 4 out of the last 5 years. So we'll get back to work. And I'm really proud of the culture that we've been able to continue. And it was a really fun season with these guys. We got a bunch of them coming back. So it's just back to work, guys, and appreciate everyone's support.
Anybody got any question for John about players or anything, or you want to ask him while you got him here? I'm sure they'll be on the recruiting trip probably in the next few weeks. Anybody?
Just curious, Coach Anderson, with all the super seniors and the 6-year eligibility, how does that impact your numbers for scholarships? I don't know how that works, I guess.
It's really difficult. We had this last year, we had 12 guys that came back for their 6th year. And, we're going to have no one used a year of eligibility. Excuse me 1 second. Trev, you need to shut that door, please. Sorry. I got some stuff going on in the background here. I apologize.
No problem.
I didn't know if that was being really loud for you guys, but everybody didn't use a year of eligibility, so they can all come back. But we got to continue to recruit, because if you neglect the lower half of your roster, sooner or later, all those guys are going to leave. So it's a really difficult dynamic. I feel really bad for the seniors that are in high school this year, because there's quite a few less spots in college football for them, because so many people are coming back. And you reward the guys that are playing the most football with the best scholarships, and sometimes that leaves guys at the back end a little light. So it's a strange dynamic. We're not out of it yet, and I think it's going to continue that way for a couple of years till things kind of balance out.
Well, thanks for explaining that to me a little bit. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Well, I think 8-3 is pretty darn good in that Northern Sun Conference. When you think about the schools they're going against, a lot of them used to be in the North Central Conference with North Dakota State and North Dakota and South Dakota State and USD, and kind of one of the key wins obviously was the Augie win, and Mankato. Beating those 2 teams in 1 year is quite an accomplishment, and that's only happened one other time, I think, since we've gone to Division II. So, but obviously losing a game to Winona was the one that really kind of broke her back, I guess. And
yeah, it was a hard one.
I have to kind of laugh. I mean, and not laugh, because I think about you and Stigmeyer, the way he lost his last game. I don't know. Let me explain something to you. South Dakota State was playing the University of South Dakota, and STSU had the ball, and they were going to run out the clock, and they had just a few seconds. So the guy ran around with the ball, and then right at the end, he threw it into the stands just to get, but the officials put 1 second back in the clock.
Huh.
And you can probably tell the rest of the story. USD threw a Hail Mary and scored and won the game with 1 second left. So that's all. That's probably almost worse than that Winona deal, but either one of them, I think, you feel bad about, because those are last minute things. So anyway, I got Brian Hansen on tonight, and you guys, I think most of you know that Brian played many years in pros. He's probably got more stories to talk about the Parcells and all the rest of the coaches that he coached with. But I've asked him to kind of share a few things. And do most of you know who this is, who you're talking to, this celebrity that I've got in my house tonight?
Yeah.
There's certain glow in the room in here, because we got this guy in the other room here. So I'm going to turn it over to Brian, but I'm very proud of Brian. I mean, he is working, doing so many things good with the Fellowship of Christian Athletes and you know, his ministry. That's a big part of his life, obviously, right now. So, but what he did while he was playing pro ball with primary, starting out with the New Orleans Saints, and made the Pro Bowl his first year, and then he was with New Orleans for quite a few years, and then maybe hitched on to a few other teams and after that. So Brian, you want to say hi and maybe tell the guys a little bit about your career, what you're doing now, and also if you want to share something from a memory from your pro career, well, that'd be great.
Okay. Well, thanks, Coach. Great to be here. We had a little pizza ranch buffet tonight, Coach and I, and did a little catching up. So yeah, it's been a blessing to get reconnected with Bob. You know, I had 1 year with Bob. My last year at Sioux Falls College, which dates me a little bit. Kevin, you were at Sioux Falls College.
Yeah.
Were you ever USF?
No, I wasn't, Brian. The next
Yeah,
year.
you were Sioux Falls College. That's what I thought. But I had
Hey, Brian,
what's that?
before you go on, do you remember your first year when you were punting for the Saints? You guys made a trip to Phoenix, and I came down to the hotel trying to round you up. You remember that?
Yep, I do remember that.
That was the last time we talked. That was like in 85, wasn't it?
84, 85.
Yeah,
Yep.
something like that. Yeah. Your
It's
room
been
was
a long
Mark
time.
Anderson.
A lot of years.
Yeah, it was. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys.
But anyway, I had my last year at Sioux Falls College was Bob's first year as a coach. And Billy Graham once said that a coach will have greater impact in 1 year than most people will in a lifetime. And I think we can all attest to that. You know, the impact that Bob had on me and the seeds that were planted in my heart and in my life. And, you know, I never in a million years would have thought that I'd be in full-time ministry for the past 23 years. And Kevin knew me fairly well back then. And, you know, I'm sure he would question that as well.
It's all good.
It's all good. Yeah, redemption. But I mean, the seeds that were planted, you know, through my years at Sioux Falls College, when I got to New Orleans, that was you know, a whole nother world, and had some guys influencing me on both sides of the fence. And on one side of my locker was Morton Anderson, who was most eligible bachelor in New Orleans, and you know, running pretty hard. And developed a relationship with him and spent a lot of time with him. And but on the other side, I had a backup quarterback named Ken Karcher that invited me into a Bible study in the Saints locker room, and we'd meet once a week and just get into the Word. And you know, so I was really struggling with, you know, who I was and what I was there for, and really, you know, what my purpose was. And long story short, you know, over the course of my career, God just continued to put people in my life, coaches, teammates, that I really had to come to a place where I had to make a decision, you know, which direction I was going to go. And you know, I was drawn to, you know, the team Bible studies and the team chapels. And before the game, I kind of went with the motivation of, you know, if I show up, if I do something, you know, that you're supposed to do, I do something for God, He's going to do something for me. And thinking it was a, you know, quid pro quo kind of a thing, that I do something, I get something. And, you know, in that process and with that motive, you know, God's word does not return void. And it just, you know, convicted me of the life that I was leading, what I was pursuing, really what my purpose was. And, you know, God just did an amazing work in my life that just brought me to a point of conviction. And I was in my hotel room one night, and I had to make a decision on whether I was, this was Bill Parcells, long story short. He comes in as the savior of the franchise, and we have a kind of a team meeting, and he kind of gives us a lowdown on his expectations of what the season's going to look like, what he expects of us, and he was going to let us know about an off-season conditioning program that everybody was going to have to be a part of. And I was in the 13th year of my career, and I was living in Sioux Falls in the off-season. My family was there. I had small kids, and I really didn't think that I could be a part of that off-season program. Wasn't that I didn't want to, it's just that I felt a greater desire to be with my family, and I just felt that was more important. And so I'm thinking I'm going to have a conversation with Coach Parcells and tell him I don't think I can be a part of your conditioning program. And so I'm in my hotel room that night, and the night before that, and before our meeting, and I literally got on my knees and I said, Lord, I've never really relinquished control of my life and my future to you. I don't know what it means to surrender, but I'm doing that now, and that I want your will to be done. And so whether I'm with the New York Jets or if I get cut, so be it. If I go with another team, I just really came to, I guess, the end of myself. And instead of, living for, my will and what I wanted, I just fully put it in God's hand and said, my life is in your hands, and it's under your control. And I prayed that prayer. It was simple. It was nothing complicated. It was nothing long. So long story short, next day we go into the team meeting. And so we got everybody in this tiered auditorium. We've got the Parcells, the owner of the team, the general manager, all the coaches, all the players, and Parcells is up in front, standing at the podium, and he points at this book. He says, guys, this isn't the playbook. This is our injury log. And he said, it tells me one of two things. We're either out of shape or we're bad athletes. And I don't think we're bad athletes. I just think we're out of shape. So we're going to do this off-season conditioning program, and everybody's going to be there. I don't care who you are. He points at Vinny Testaverde, points at Curtis Martin. He said, Curtis says, I don't care if you're an all-pro or how many yards that you've run. Keyshawn Johnson, I don't care that you're the first-round draft pick. You're going to be here. You're going to be here April 1st. April and May, you're going to go home, come back for training camp. Everybody's here. If you're not here, you're not part of the team. We don't want you. He said, except for Hansen. He said, Hansen, how long have you been in the league? I said, 13 years. He said, you should know how to get ready by now, right? I said, yeah, I think I know how to do that. So you go home to Sioux Falls, you get ready, you come to camp ready to go. Everybody else be here April 1st. And I pinch myself sometimes. Did that really happen? I mean, I'm getting elbows from the offensive lineman that I'm sitting next to. Everybody turns around and looks at me in the back row. And how do you explain that? I've still to this day tried to figure that out, other than God's sovereign hand in my life. And I put my trust in him, and he proved faithful. He continued to do that, throughout my career. I mean, took me through some ups and downs, and just like all of us, we go through hills and valleys. But I never thought, after football that I would be in ministry. But when that opportunity presented itself, I knew that was exactly what I wanted to do. And I've been doing that for the last 23 years. And was fortunate enough to spend at least 9 years with Bob as he was doing our coaches ministry. When he retired from coaching, he was one of the first things that we presented him with an opportunity to get into coaches ministry. And so Bob and I've had a lot of adventures together doing ministry, and just to see his heart and his passion, go from the football field to directing that energy and that love that he had for us to the coaches that he was serving was just a tremendous blessing for me to see that, and to continue to just impact me and influence me. So that's what I've been doing for the last 23 years. I believe, that, football is a tool that God uses to test us and teach us and develop us in our faith. And I think that's the thing that I've learned, through my years of being ministered to, discipled by other, teammates and coaches. And I've realized that sports, and I think you guys can relate to this, is not only a tool, but it's a model that God gives us, because we learn commitment and discipline and sacrifice and being passionate and giving 100%, all those things that we get to do for a very short period of time. And I think that's the one thing that God desires in us living and serving him. All those things, those character traits, those attributes that we get instilled in us as athletes, God is just preparing for us to take those things and use it for his purpose and for his glory. And I think I got that at some point, at that point where I just surrendered my life and decided to serve him, and he has carried me and been faithful through my whole life. And so when we're talking about gratitude, I just look back at what he has done, what he has made possible, the people that he's put in my life. I look at my teammates. We had our 40-year reunion for the team, the 81 team that won the championship, to see some of the guys that, God just sovereignly ordained and put in my life. Coach Young, Coach Schroeder, the guys that I played with throughout the NFL, guys that God just miraculously ordained and put in my life, that discipled me, that encouraged me, that just blessed me as a brother in Christ. So that's my story, part of it anyway. So thanks for listening.
Thank you, Brian. Anybody have any questions for Brian, maybe, or any thoughts? Thank you for your testimony. I appreciated that a lot. Jim, Ben, didn't you used to punt?
I learned from Cooch. I learned from Al, working with Al. So I used to punt on the sidelines with him, catch his punts, and then punt it back to him. So
where are you at now?
I'm on the road on my way from Chicago to Ohio.
Oh, okay.
In the car, so I'm listening.
Drive carefully. We won't bother you too much. Yana Moob, I want to get back to you, Yana. There, I haven't had you on before. Kind of tell us a little bit about what you're doing out there in Washington.
Oh, can you hear me, Coach?
Yes, sure can.
Yeah. So I'm out in Washington State. I'm running emergency departments for a large healthcare system, and I'm married with 4 kids. We just celebrated. So we're going on to big 22 out, just watching my kids grow up and enjoy the fruits of our labor, all the fun stuff.
Cutting out on us there, Yana.
That's about it.
I think we lost you, Yana.
like 10
Shaw,
minutes, Coach. I'll get a better reception here in like 10
Okay,
minutes.
Rob Shaw, kind of give us a little report. I haven't had you on for a while, can you?
Yeah, hey, Coach. About a year ago, I moved up to Aberdeen, South Dakota, and became a intensive probation officer for a drug court program up here. So all of my probationers are addicts. Are in like a special program to rehabilitate their lives and get them squared away.
How many? What do you
And I'm loving
got
it.
for What do you got for family now?
Well, I still got my daughter. She's graduated a year early from Hastings College. Don't ask me how that happened, but she went over there to Hastings and got into like publishing and business. So she's a Bronco, but I still remind her of the whoopings we gave them. So that's about it. I still got that same daughter that I always had, that I was a little girl on the sidelines when I was coaching, and
yeah,
she's really good. She's thinking about going overseas for graduate school. So blows my mind how fast she grew up and all the dreams she's got right now, and she's making them happen.
You realize we have our left side of our 96 offensive line here, Brad Schroeder and Rob Shaw, right?
That's right.
What was it like to play side by side?
Well, Schroeder let me, I had to ask him about half the time if it was on 1 or 2, because I'd forgotten by the time we broke the huddle.
Lineman.
Any comment on that, Brad Schroeder?
No, I think that, and sometimes we had to help each other out, know what we're supposed to do. You know, Rob would ask me when we get there, who am I supposed to block?
I just remember the flipper fan on P protection.
Yeah. I think Coach Sim came out of the box one time when we got our feet tangled up and on a screen pass and left Schroeder out hanging on an island by himself.
We're just trying to showcase his talent. We knew we could beat those guys.
Yeah.
Brady Schwabach, we're going to get to you. What do you tell us a little bit? You and Katie, what are you doing down there in Iowa?
Well, Katie and I have been in Iowa, probably for 12, 15 years now. Have 2 kids, my son Braxton, who is 7, and then my daughter, Kenley, who's 4. So definitely keep pretty busy with those 2 sporting events, school activities. My son, surprisingly, does not like football. After his first year, he played flag football, and next year he didn't want to play. And I said, all right, that's fine, no problem. How come you don't want to play? And he said, well, Dad, I don't like them grabbing my flags. So I just said, we'll run faster, So it hasn't worked out very well, but he's very passionate about baseball. So that's very fun to watch him really latch onto a sport, whether it's football, soccer, basketball, what have you. But Katie is still in banking, loves doing what she does. Thank God I got someone that can run numbers, because I can't. But life is good. It's a great seeing a lot of you guys on here. It's been a blessing. Like Rob, good seeing you on here. I mean, it was a pleasure having you as coach. Coach Wu, I've seen you around. I've seen you at practice as well. It's just good seeing just the legacy that's just trickled down. We're very blessed, and I'm very honored just to be a part of this crew. Coach Anderson, I can't forget about you either, Stub Muffin. So heck of a year this year. Came to watch, obviously, the game against Augie. That was one of the coolest games I've seen in a long time. So that was a hell of a showing. So very proud of just the legacy that you keep carrying on out there. And it's always an honor just to come out there and see you guys fly around. So kudos to you guys.
Thank you, Brady.
Thanks, Troy.
Jared
Appreciate
Oswald,
it.
we haven't gotten to you yet. You're representing the Oswald family here in the great city of Viborg. So tell us a little bit about Jared right now.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Yep.
Yeah. My wife and I live out in Spearfish, South Dakota. We've lived out here for 10, 15 years, I guess it is. My wife started an online clothing business about 5 years ago, and I was an engineer traveling around the country, and the business kind of took off. So I quit my engineering job about, I think it was 3 years ago, And I'm home with our kids who are 16, 14, and 6. And so I'm kind of doing that, running them their sporting events, helping my wife out a little bit with their business, with the accounting side of things. But life is really good. I'm really thankful and grateful to be able to spend a lot of time with my family and my kids. So
you get back to Viborg very often?
I was back there to watch my nephew Cody play against T a couple weekends ago, but it was pretty quick. I don't get back as often as I'd like to, honestly, but yeah, I was hoping to combine, but then we blew a tire. So that weekend didn't work. And then Cody lost his semifinal game. So that was kind of a bummer of a weekend.
Who did he play for?
He plays for Yankton. That's Jason's boy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about now. Yeah.
Yeah, he's
I
a
saw him
junior.
on the highlight.
Yep.
What's he, a sophomore or what?
No, he's a junior this year. Yep.
Junior. Okay. Yeah, I was surprised to see that Oswald name come up down there. Looks like a pretty good athlete.
Yeah.
Anyway,
he's doing all right.
Greet your family from me, will you?
I definitely will. Definitely will.
I had some memorable visits out there with you, and thanks a lot for your hospitality and taking me in as I traveled around out there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we got to get you out to the farm around Viborg, Coach, sometime soon.
All right. Mick, you and Brian Hansen, Mick Lambert, you want to connect with Brian a little bit here, Mick, before we move on?
Yeah. Hey, Moj, how you doing?
All right, Mick. Where you at, Mick?
I'm in Sioux Falls.
You there? Okay.
Yeah, missed you at the 40th.
Yeah, I was kind of tired of him. I was in the hospital with my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, buddy.
So is Brian's still there? I don't see him.
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, okay.
He was there.
So yeah, I think I played with Brian 2 or 3 years probably, and with Coach Schroeder, and then with Coach Young there, Brian's last couple of years. And Brian, I think, Brian, you know whose punting record you broke when you were there?
Don't say yours.
Back when I was a freshman out at Tech, I had the quick kick, and we had a 76-yarder into the wind, rolled all the way down the other end, and they ran it about 3/4 the way back. But Sid told me that was the record, and then Brian ended up beating that. So I think it was at 82 yards. So I run into Brian now and then, do a little work for him on his houses, and see him quite a bit. So always good to see him, good to hear him. Like to hear his story there. I didn't hear that one before. So good to see you and hear from you, Brian.
I would really like to see Josiah, you connect with Nick Fulton down there in Tucson sometime. If we can get you guys together. I talked and texted back and forth. Do you know who I'm talking about though, Josiah?
Yes, sir. I actually reached out to him. This was probably a few months ago, and but we have not been able to connect yet. But I do got his number, and so hopefully here soon we can try to get together.
That'd be great. Good
Yes,
for
sir.
both of you, probably.
Yes, sir.
Anyway,
I wanted to ask, Woo, how you doing, man?
Good, you're looking handsome.
You're kicking it.
Yeah, like Coach Young.
Yeah.
oh no, you got a long way to go.
You know what? If you always hang out with him, I'm acting like him now. I even walk like him. Yeah, you're looking good, Kevin.
Thanks, Boo.
Well, you got in there early on their Zoom today.
Yeah,
huh?
I know, man. I had a text say, "What's up?" Me and all my friends. It said one participant, just me. I didn't think about the time change.
I know, but I responded back. So, yeah.
Jay, you want any report on your health situation to these guys, or?
Well, I'm just very blessed. You know, uh, way things were going. I think God's got a plan. Uh, for me to, having a cancer in the liver, I think became, I hate to say it, a better man, understand things more better.
Whoa, 1 second, man. Guys, I got to share this. I was talking to Wu on the phone, right? And he was explaining to me about this operation. He said, they're going to cut me in half. I said, well, don't they add a little bit of body parts? Maybe you get a little bit taller. He thought that was a good idea.
I know. I hope they do, Kevin.
But it was funny, man.
Yeah. No, it's been blessed. I tell you what, it's then I know Coach Young, you started this thing and you brought all of us together, and I'm just very thankful to see everybody and how you've been influenced on all of us. And I hope this, becomes stronger and stronger. And just be a lot of things to be thankful for. And I know a lot of you guys have been thinking about me and praying for me. I really appreciate that. But here soon I should be going in and cut my body up, and I should be out for about 3-4 months. Then hopefully and see what happens after that. But
That's in Omaha, right, Wu?
When you go through like that, you're always thinking about, my friends, like all you guys, making sure that just be grateful that you guys are healthy. And I know Kevin Mosier did some lot of different change in life. It's unique, and I think that comes from, Coach Young, how he taught us when we're playing for him, and you look at all of us, we just became a close family, close friends. And a lot of things to be thankful for.
Thank
That's
you, Jay.
it. Yeah.
Appreciate it. I just wanted to, I don't know how much time we got. We usually try to hold you to an hour here, so we got a little time to kind of wrap some stuff up here. But I put something together here. What is a good friendship? And Proverbs 18:24 says, "A man of many companions may come to ruin, but there's a friend who sticks closer than a brother." I don't know if you caught that or not, but sometimes picking your friends is going the wrong direction. Brian kind of talked about he had some choices to make, but some of your changes in life sometimes cause us to give up some of those friendships and move on to other friendships that are more productive. So one thing I forgot to say, John Anderson, you just had a birthday, didn't you?
I did last
Happy
Saturday,
birthday,
Coach.
John.
Thank you.
Everybody say happy birthday to John.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, John.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach.
Thank you.
Okay. Another Proverbs here. He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harms. And greater love has no one than this, that he lay down his life for his friends or his teammates. I think that's what a good team is all about, and really the sacrifice a person is willing to make for the good of the team, and that's what's so great about, I think, a game of football is it is a man's game. It's a lot of sacrifices to make a team go the way that it's supposed to go, and to win a state championship or win in those winning seasons and so on, there has to be that commitment. Here's another question. What is a good friendship? A friend is one who overlooks your broken fence and admires the flowers in your garden. That's a funny one. No, let me read that again. A friend is one who overlooks your broken fence and admires the flowers in your garden. Probably a little feminine, but at the same time, it has a good message to it. A good friend is like a 4-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. Amen.
Amen.
There There is nothing I would not do for those who are really my friends. True friendship comes when the silence between two people is comfortable. I think that kind of sometimes, in a marriage, that kind of pertains. You don't have to be talking to each other, just being together, I think, and that kind of something about a friendship, that you don't have to be talking to each other in order to really feel each other's presence and support and encouragement. So, Thanksgiving is next week, and I guess I just want to kind of throw some thoughts out about gratitude and Thanksgiving. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 says, rejoice always, pray continually. Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus. Give thanks in all circumstances. Something was said today, I was listening to this, and it's impossible for you to be thanking or have gratitude and be angry at the same time. They come from two different sources in your emotions. That makes sense? Give thanks in all circumstances. So regardless of what you're going through, if you find something to be grateful for in the bad moments, I think sometimes your anger dissipates somewhat. Philippians 4:6, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. In Colossians 4:2, devote yourself to prayer, being watchful and thankful. You can go into Psalms, and there's just a whole string of Psalms. Psalm 107, oh, give thanks to the Lord, for he is good, for his steadfast love endures forever. And in Psalm 95:2, let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. I really wanted to try to get as many as I could on tonight, mainly because I wanted to say how much it meant to me. This all started a little over a year ago, and obviously after losing my wife and kind of being by myself, I needed to kind of look for new sources of companionships and friendships and relationships, and what this has done for me is much more than probably it's done for all of you. But I sense even among some of you, it's really helped you too. And what Jay just said about his life and what he's going through, and getting a phone call from Kevin once in a while, I can tell the two of you communicate, and it's great to see. It's just unbelievable how powerful that is, to have friends that are that close. But I do want to, thinking about Thanksgiving, I want to thank you guys so much for pouring into my life at this stage of my life as I grow older, and you just kind of wonder what your value is when you get to a certain age, and you see people kind of fading away and kind of going back into the loneliness stage, and when I go to dialysis, I feel pretty blessed because I see the condition of so many of those people that come in, the families and whatever, but the way the ones that wait on me are so passionate about their job and so loving and caring, and it just makes me grateful. And I think we can find that kind of, when we look right, we can find those kind of relationships no matter where we are and what we're doing, because I spend a lot of time at dialysis. It's probably at least 8 to 10 hours a week there. But you develop relationships with those people, and you might as well have a good relationship with them. So anyway, I wanted to kind of just open it up, maybe if just to kind of wrap it up, if some of you would like to share something. I was glad to see Justin Jacobs, you being on tonight. Didn't get you a chance to say hi to you, but he was going to fly tonight. He's in the Air National Guard out there. Obviously, didn't have to fly, right, Justin? Or are you flying now? I hope you're not.
No, sir.
Okay. Well, Waldatarsky, good to see you too, buddy. You got some other guy, you got a move out there in Washington now. You better look him up.
I've got to find out where he's at.
Yeah, we'll have to locate. I'll give you his contact if you remind me, okay?
Yeah, that'd be
Gana,
great.
you got Mark Walatowski, and you too, Gana and Mark, you try to find each other. Will you connect out there some way? You may
I
need
can do
each
that.
other.
We got Bobby here too. He's right
And then
next
you got
door.
Bobby Booth up there, so that's good too. But anybody want to add something about what you may be especially thankful for right now? You think back over the year, whatever,
Hey, I just wanted to say, Justin, I left you my number in the group or the text chat or whatever that's on Zoom here. So, and as far as being thankful, I guess for myself, it's kind of been a tough year for my wife and I. We've been trying to have kids and have had a couple miscarriages, and one was an ectopic pregnancy. So that's been a little difficult, but I mean, in spite of it all, we're still blessed, and had some tests done on her other fallopian tube and everything seems to be good with that. So I guess just keep us in your prayers, and as we try to conceive and pop out some kids.
So,
Hey,
Greg Carroll here. I wanted to thank you, Coach, for your impact on not only myself, but all of us over the years. It's always good to reconnect with you, and these Zoom meetings mean the world to me. I really appreciated Brian coming on tonight, and what he said was awesome. And I was going to ask you how Jay Woo's doing, because I haven't seen Woo for a while, and it's always awesome to see Woo. I'm glad Woo's on here tonight, and Woo, I'll be praying for you.
Thanks.
You keep up that good fight, buddy. I'll be praying for you.
Yeah.
I wrote down a few things about being faithful, or about being thankful. I wrote down 5 different F words. My faith is important to me: family, friends, fellowship, and football. And not necessarily in that order, but I would say faith obviously is number 1. And I just think if we can live by those things usually fall in order. So Coach, I really appreciate you, and I appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
I think life be a lot better, Greg, if you just don't worry too much about that stinking dumb Nebraska team.
Well, I've kind of gotten to the point where I don't worry too much about them, because they have the same result every week, Woo. Yeah, that's funny.
Chad Remington, you got anything you want to add here, and maybe talk about, maybe we can discuss real quickly when the next one might be.
Yeah, for sure. I think the next one we have planned, obviously next week is Thanksgiving. The 30th would be Tuesday the 30th. That's 2 weeks out. So I'll send a reminder to everyone for that. And I'm definitely thankful for all you guys. This is just fills my soul every couple weeks, seeing the new faces, seeing the guys that jump on every week. I was actually texting a little here with Justin Jacobs about making that Wyoming trip a tradition, Coach. So we'll have to talk about that next time I'm out. They'd love to have you out in Cheyenne some more. Maybe we'll just do a road trip and do the whole Wyoming deal and see Zim and everybody else. But I was telling someone today about getting to play, Bruce Moeller, about getting to play the SID tournament with Woo and Doof, because Mo's kid is actually getting recruited to play golf at the Coup. So I thought that was pretty cool. And then obviously thankful that Jeff and Bobby and Mick and everyone and Brian and everyone was at the Hall of Fame deal when Bob got in. That was, my wife is amazed at that none of us have, really seen each other, hung out for almost 30 years. And it was just like we walked into Burgess and turned on the TV. didn't miss a beat, didn't the friendship and that family that Wu was talking about and that brotherhood we got is just something really special. So yeah, let's plan on the 30th. And I'm truthfully, and from the bottom of my heart, I'm thankful for all of you guys.
Jeff Folkers, any comment from Maggie? No, I mean from you.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Well, I just want to say thank you, Brian, and thank you everyone that comes on every week. Maggie and I are currently in Nebraska. We flew out today, landed about 2 hours ago. Her father is in the hospital, so I just asked for your prayers for his healing. But I'm very thankful that we went by the hospital. He's in very good spirits, cracking jokes, and so we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. I will want to say this. On the plane, I was listening to Tony Evans, and through the turbulence, he kept saying Psalm 123, and then I heard it again, Psalm 123. And I just want to share that with you guys. I don't know if you've read that, the Pilgrim's Song, I look to you, heaven, dwelling God. And further down it says, we're watching and waiting and holding our breath, awaiting your word of mercy. Mercy, God, mercy. We've been kicked in the teeth long enough. And why, I just come home and read that, and I want to share that with you because that's kind of how this year has kind of gone by with all of our trials and tribulations, with Jay Wu. And Coach Young's son-in-law and just everybody else has gone through. John Anderson, Chad Remington, you can just go through it. And I just want to say, what, we just look to God for mercy, and we just look to him always. So that's what I want to share, and please pray for Les Broker, and we'll see what happens in the next couple of days. And we're actually going to be in Nebraska until the 28th. We just took 2 weeks off of school, and here we are to be with him. And so pray for Maggie, that give her strength when she's around him. So that's what I have to share. I also want to share this. I knew that more Sheridan people were going to be on tonight because they had to go through Natrona County to get the state championship. So I appreciate them them coming on, and then we'd see more of you. And Jay Wu, because you don't know how to use the mute button, we get to see Jay Wu full screen with his cat. So that's always nice to see. But I love you guys, and I'm thankful, and I'm thankful for my family, especially now. And I think that's a cliche, but we're thankful for the family, and I'm thankful for my, especially for my wife. And so please pray for Les Broker, and of course Maggie and the rest of the family.
You bet, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff. One thing about it, Jeff, when you're in Nebraska, you could probably buy some of that red stuff down there pretty cheap nowadays.
Would that be the Nebraska Cornhusker jerseys, or would that be red meat?
That hurt. I shouldn't have said that.
You did fine, Coach. They're giving that stuff.
I apologize. Please forgive me, Nebraska fan. Greg Carroll, you're still a Nebraska fan, right?
All right. Red till dead.
I'm proud. I would like to see Scott Frost bring that program around. I like the young man, and I think he's got a lot of good qualities to him, and it's just tough to see him go through some of those losses that he's experienced. So how did Iowa and Minnesota come out, Brady?
Well, Coach, I have to be honest with you. I'm a neither fan, so I don't follow the Cyclones or the Hawkeyes, or I guess even the Panthers, the UNI. Believe it or not, I actually got to, just with us kind of running that no huddle, fast paced offense that one year, it kind of got grown to those Oregon Ducks.
Okay, we're going to bring this to a close. Are any last thoughts or comments or anything? Anybody? It's sure good to have all of you on tonight. I thank you for making a special effort, and I know Chad's recording it, so this will go on recording. And you may notice in the invite that he sent out that there's the 2 previous ones, right, Chad, that are recorded that you sent out. And so if you have time sometime, you want to pull one of those up and see some different faces and so on, I encourage you to do that maybe when you're sitting around Anyway, Brian Hansen, I'm going to ask you if you would close us with prayer tonight. Would you do that?
You're muted, Brian.
There we go. We're back. Father, we just give you thanks for this this time together tonight as one team, guys that have had the opportunity to be a part of something really special. And we are grateful for that, for the seeds that were planted in our lives and for what we were fortunate enough to experience through Coach's leadership and through USF, Sioux Falls College. I just pray for each of the guys where they're at tonight, that you would be with them and their families. And we've got a lot of requests. We all have things that we need you to do in our lives. Pray for Kevin and his job opportunity and his job situation. I just pray, Lord, that you would be with him, continue to work in his life and put him in the right place and just work it out according to your plan and your purpose. And pray for Les and Maggie, and pray that you just be with them, Lord, that they would look to you, that they would lean on you, that you would be their strength, you would be their hope, and that you'd give them peace, and just all of their family members. And I think it was Josiah that was praying for, Lord, that you would just bless them. Am I right there, Josiah?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that you just bless them with the opportunity to have a child. And Lord, we know that you are able and that you're able to do all things. And so we just put that before you and ask, Lord, that you would do it in your way and your time. And just bless these guys and the work that they do, bless their families. We thank you for each one and the gifts that you've given them. We just pray that, Lord, we would use what we've learned, what we've been given for your purpose and for your glory. So we just thank you and pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. You're all invited to come over to my house for pie right now, pie and ice cream. So you gotta buzz on over there. Brian and I are going to have some ice cream and pie.
Sounds good.
Razzleberry.
Hey, Brian, you know where I live, right?
I know where you're at, Jay.
All right. Drop me off a piece of pie on the way home.
Little a la mode?
Huh?
Little a la mode?
Yeah. So I'll make sure I'm going to wait up too.
Okay. I'm coming your way.
I know. So.
Guys.
Guys, good night. Love you all.
All right.
Good
night.
Love
Good
you,
night,
everybody.
Good to
Love
see you,
y'all.
Tony Nichols.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Jake.
Good to see everybody.
Hey,
Ram.
Greg
Really
Carroll.
great.
See you, Jeff Boulders.
See you, Ram.